First thing, I lay the boards out. You can face it towards the water or face it towards the mountain, doesn't matter. But you also want to find, if you can, a shady spot, because they get really hot really quick. So if you have a shady spot, put them in the shade and then you go in the sun. But first thing I start off is finding their surfing stance. So I always tell them, get your feet right on the line, on the stringer. So you can just have them stand up right on here, and then I say, okay, if you get your feet right on the line, right on the stringer, surfing's real easy. If you are off the line right here, that's when surfing gets hard. Okay, so get your feet here, and also spread your legs out. Wider is better. I usually say something like a little wider than shoulder width apart. That's where you want to keep your feet. Also the feet, the toes, you want it to be straight ahead this way. Your front foot, you can angle it just a little bit, not the back foot. The back foot, you want it to be straight ahead. You don't want them to do this, put their knees out like this. You're already losing balance. Okay, so feet down the center, shoulder width apart. And then also from here, once you determine their surfing stance, also they're either going to be left leg forward or right leg forward. So if they surf before, it's easy. Okay, get in the same stance. If they snowboard before, okay, get into that stance, either goofy foot or regular foot. If they've never surfed before, then I say, if you had to kick a ball, what leg would you kick with? Usually your right leg. So your stronger leg, your dominant leg goes in the back. So right leg back, left leg forward. Or if you're goofy foot, right leg forward, left leg back. Real easy. Kick a ball, that leg goes in the back. It's 50-50. I mean, if they don't know, just say, okay, just get into any position. Because if you keep falling, then we'll switch. You're probably the other way. Okay, kick a ball, that leg goes in the back. All right, so we got their surfing stance. They're standing up on the board. Feet are sideways, shoulder width apart. Then I say, okay, this is your surfing stance. When you stand up on the wave, this is where you're going to be, down the center. They might ask you, where on the board do I stand? Say, oh, you're going to be a little bit farther back, but we're going to get that later on once I teach you guys to get up. Okay, so from here, I say I have 3 rules. Once you're up on the wave, I have 3 rules. Rule number 1 is the most important. If you forget everything I say, but you just do this one little thing, you're still going to get up and surf. Okay, rule number 1 is wherever you look, that's where you go. So at the break wall, we have a couple things that they can look at. The mountain, there's a couple pine trees, there's a telephone pole. I usually say, okay, look at the pine trees because it's off to the right there, or the mountain. So rule number 1, look to where you want to go. Then I say something like, okay, common mistake with this one is, if you look, common mistake with this one is, most people, they want to make sure that their feet is on the center, and when they look down, guess what happens? And then people answer, they go down. You know, so I usually point out a couple things on the common mistakes. So rule number 1, look to where you want to go. Rule number 2, bend your knees. Have them bend their knees, okay? And then I usually say, I have a saying, low you're gonna go. If you go tall and you lock your knees out, you're gonna fall. Low you go, tall you fall. Okay, that's rule number 2. Rule number 3, when you first get up on your wave, I want you to put 60% of your weight on your back foot. Okay, put pressure on your back foot. Then I tell them, why? Because on the back of the board, there's a fin. The more pressure you put on the fin, the more control you're gonna have. So, rule number 3, 60% of your weight on your back foot when you first get up on your wave. And then I demonstrate by going forward and showing them what happens if they go forward. The fin's going to be out in the water, then you're going to lose control and fall off. And I repeat it once more. I say, okay, the 3 rules when you're standing up on your surfboard. Rule number 1, look forward. Look to where you want to go. Rule number 2, bend your knees. Rule number 3, lean back. Put 60% of your weight on your back foot. And then from here, you can go and ask them again. Maybe get some audience participation. That's always fun. They want to be included, so you ask it. Don't stay too long on each section. So this is the first section that I do.